Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer online action. Today we're going to be taking a look at a replay between myself, playing as the Warriors of Chaos, and a vampire player, so definitely in for a good time. This battle was actually fought on Turin's stream earlier today, so I see a lot of new subscribers. Some of you guys probably found my channel through him, so welcome, welcome. Turin's a good guy, and definitely if you don't watch his channel, check it out for whatever reason. But yeah, it's definitely in for a good time. Vampires versus Chaos is a matchup that was previously pretty tough for Chaos, but I feel like they have some good tools now and, can definitely put up a decent fight there. It's definitely very, very close, but previously it was very one-sided in the Vampires' favor, but right now they're in a pretty good place. So for my army composition, I've got Sartharel the Everwatcher, Big Bird himself. He's carrying just Final Transmutation and Standard Die for a nice cheap kit, backed up by the Swords of Chaos. We've also got a main line of Marauder Berserkers backed up by one Aspiring Champion, which definitely glad I brought these guys because my opponent's got quite a few ethereal units. These guys do have magic damage and 44 weapon strength, so they can cut through ethereal units with relative ease. We've got two Chaos Warriors with halberds in the back, of course two Forsaken on each flank, as I usually do, one of them being the Demon Spew. We've also got a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth for some nice armor-piercing anti-large monstrosity. And yeah, that's about it for my forces. For my opponent, he's got Manfred von Karstein up on the dragon. He's got quite a few spells. Looks like Raise Dead, Invocation, and Fate of Yuna. So sort of unholy power as well, looking to pull up some extra magic. And yeah, for his main line, it looks like Graveguard with the Sternsman here in the center. And backed up by Skeleton Spearmen, he's got the Conic Sign Stalkers for some poison damage, a unit of Dire Pack for some anti-large, some Karen Wraiths for some terror, and of course their 80% physical resistance, and a Banshee as well. So going pretty heavy on the ethereal units, which is definitely very interesting. Chaos does have some decent magic damage, so it's a bit of an odd pick, but hey, the terror is definitely useful. He also has the Chillgeist over here, which is a very uncommon pick. Definitely the armor piercing can be useful, but like I said, there's a lot of magic damage with Chaos, especially with the Final Transmutation. Big Bird himself has magic attacks. They've also got the Aspiring Champions, the Summoners of Rage, which I haven't brought here, but those guys also do have magic attacks, so it's a bit of a gamble, definitely, to bring the ethereal units, but if for whatever reason your opponent hasn't brought the proper tools to deal with it, they can definitely be a huge, huge pain. So definitely going to be in for a good time. We'll go ahead and kick things into full gear here. So seeing as I have Final Transmutation, I'm going to try and use that to as good effect as possible to try and take out these ethereal units. Right now the Karen Wraiths are standing right next to the Banshee, so that's a very tempting target. I'm going to send in my Shaggoth to try and force a bit of a blob here, see if my opponent will react, and he does. Send in quite a few units here. The Graveguard getting caught up here, as well as these Crypt... let's see, the Karen Wraiths, sorry, not Crypt Wraiths. Banshee as well, so now you can see the Final Transmutation about to drop. Cancelled at the last second, but we're going to go ahead and drop it one more time there. Yep, there it goes. And you can see the Banshee's actually able to do quite a bit of damage to the Shaggoth, and she can be a decent answer to a big, monstrous unit like a giant or so on. You can see Invocation being dropped there to try and mitigate the effects of that Final Transmutation and keeping that Banshee alive, but she's taken quite a bit of damage, and a lot of damage going down on those Karen Wraiths as well. That Invocation definitely was very, very well timed, so well played to my opponent there. These Karen Wraiths, or excuse me, the Chill guys, getting into these Forsaken over on this flank, along with the Hounds, they're definitely going to take these guys out in relatively short order. Manfred landing here among the Demon Spew, they're going to get poisoned and not going to be able to tear a route off since, of course, Demon Spew are immune to Psychology baseline, even when their Frenzy's not up, so that's very useful for me. You can hear Fate of Yuna going off on these Swords of Chaos, which, it'll do a decent amount of damage there, but it's not going to be crazy effective. Over here, this huge ball of Chaos troops is definitely going to be a tough nut for my opponent to crack. You can see a lot of his troops already forced into crumbling. We've got these Forsaken around the flank here. They're dealing with the Skeleton Spearmen fairly effectively. They're doing a good job of getting these Hounds around. They're just having a hard time finding a good target. And Big Bird and these Swords of Chaos are going to go after this group of Hounds here and be able to put them down fairly quick. I mean, they do have anti-large damage, but they're not able to stand up to a very heavy unit like the Swords of Chaos, so they're going to be routed off, not routed off, but crumbled, rather, very quickly. The Banshee did get killed by Sartharel. You can see these Karen Wraiths very, very low on their model count, and they're actually at their healing cap. The Chill guys getting a nice rear charge here, probably going to terror route off some of these Chaos Marauders. But yep, you can see that one routing now. These guys are probably going to get terrified. Another nice invocation healing up this big blob. We've got Manfred, though, over here has been getting whomped on by this Shaggoth. He's also mixed in with these halberds here, which is not very good, you know. Anti-large armor piercing damage is going to be fairly decent there. So, halberds holding well, you know, their defensive stats are definitely going to help them in a fight like this. The Swords of Chaos as well, just rampaging through the middle of this fight, you know, cleaving through all these infantry here. And Big Bird doing his best to take down these chill guys with his magic, you know, magic damage. But anytime that Manfred lands, I'm going to try and respond with the Swords of Chaos and with Big Bird and, you know, whatever other units I can. We're going to be dropping another Final Transmutation here, just trying to finish off these chill guys, and it is going to do a substantial amount of damage. You can see they have relatively low HP to begin with, and they're going to get chunked away by that. Didn't last very long, but it set them to crumbling, which is nice. My opponent's going to respond with a timely invocation of Nehek there, but Manfred is in pretty rough shape now. He's very low, trying to chase off some of these Chaos Marauders to help regenerate with the Sword of Unholy Power. But you can see the Sternsmen actually finally crumbling. They're at their healing cap. A lot of these units brought to their healing cap, which is definitely a good thing with the vampires. You definitely want to keep your units in the fight for as long as possible, and you know, so it's gonna be tough though for the vampires to come back from this. They're a little bit behind the curveball now, with Manfred being so low, and he really doesn't have a response for this Shaggoth, and for you know, Big Bird's still very, very healthy as well, having taken very little damage. You know, with his stacking resistances, so if we go ahead and pause it, or not pause it, but put it in slow motion. So when he's with the Swords of Chaos, he has 36% physical resistance, 70% missile resistance isn't really pertinent against the vampires, but 25% magic resistance if someone brings Spirit Leech, you know, he can help withstand that as well. So, you know, with these stacking resistances, he's a really, really tough target to take down, and especially when he's kind of going around the battlefield like this, just being an absolute menace. Manfred getting a nice charge animation that actually gets him away there, but you can see he's taking quite a bit of damage. Anytime he lands, he's going to be pursued by the Shaggoth or by Sarthrel, and either way, it's going to be a bad day for him. Manfred's actually crumbling now from army losses and actually disintegrates, so tough day for the vampires. Well played to my opponent. Very much enjoyed playing this. So we're going to get in for some cinematic action here as we chop through the last of these zombies. Beautiful, beautiful game. Taking the carnage as well from just over here, from this rock, just absolutely all these bodies all over the place. All the way across this kind of wide plain to Manfred's dragon over here. So beautiful, beautiful battle. Very well played to my opponent. Very fun game, and yeah, I would definitely say that Chaos and Vampires is an even matchup. You know, if my opponent had brought Blood Knights instead of these chill guys, it may have gone a little bit better for him, just because then he could have dealt with the Shaggoth potentially, and Big Bird in the late game there. And you know, the Graveguard are decent, but Chaos does have good armor piercing options, and although I didn't bring too many, you know, with just Big Bird and everything, they just weren't able to hold out. The Shaggoth getting 93 kills, very good, and a Chevron, so very nice there. 116 on the Swords of Chaos. This unit of halberds got quite a bit of work done against Manfred, and also got some decent kills against the you know, the Graveguard. The halberds will actually trade decently there. I'd be curious to try that one-on-one how they trade, but Forsaken getting a lot of kills in some circumstances where they got into zombies and skeletons. These two units that got crushed on the flank by the chill guys, you know, didn't get too many kills, but not a big deal. 74 for Big Bird himself is pretty decent, and for my opponent, the ethereal units getting put down by the magic damage was real tough. I mean, if he had reallocated those resources to something non-ethereal, definitely could have tipped the balance of power in his favor potentially. But well played overall. Very fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm bringing the Total War Warhammer content every day, and we are only a couple weeks out now from Total War Warhammer 2, so I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.